Good morning, and I invite you to listen.
When the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy. I choose joy. When the world stops spinning round, I choose joy. I choose joy. When my heart is hard to move, when my music's lost the groove, when I have too much to prove, I choose joy. I choose joy. When hate is all I see, I choose joy. I choose joy. When fear won't let me be, I choose joy. I choose joy. When betrayal and lies hide the light from my eyes, I look up to the skies and I choose joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. This moment right here, I choose joy. I choose joy. For the ones that I hold dear, I choose joy. I choose joy. To be who I must be, for the light to shine in me, for everybody to be free. I choose joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy.
This is the dance steps. Everybody gets up and dances.
Stable ground, peace and hope found. I hear a sweeter sound. The chains have come unbound. Love is all around when I choose joy. This moment right here, I choose joy. I choose joy. For the ones that I hold dear, I choose joy. I choose joy. To be who I must be, for the light to shine in me, for everybody to be free. I choose joy. I choose joy. And everybody will be free when I choose joy. I choose joy.
All right, everybody. So, have you chosen joy? You feel revved up. You feel ready to be inspired. Our theme this morning is going to be the power of zeal, and that was Terry Wilder getting us all connected into that vibration of joy that lifts us up, knowing that I want to share this quote that I put on Facebook. I have it within me to rise above whatever is presently bringing me down. And we do. So, good morning and welcome. I'm Reverend Megan Smith Brooks, and I'm delighted to be joining you today for an inspiring Sunday service on behalf of Unity of Lexington and Reverend Carol, who continues her health sabbatical through November. So, I get to be with you for a few more weeks. Just know that wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here, and we are so glad you chose to spend a little time with us this morning. I have a few announcements, but before I mention them, I just want to address the energy of what's happening in our nation with all of the election and the anticipation, and everyone all over the map is feeling a different reality. And so the power of zeal that I'll be sharing with you today, I think, is so appropriate, that we have this inner energy, that an impulse that ignites us to move forward, to focus in on something that's important and relevant. And no matter what it is that's happening in the outer world, we still have that choice to choose how to align with it and to participate in it for good. And so just know that we are being called into an opportunity to be part of a great emergence of transformation, and that it is all good. So no matter if you're feeling down for the election, for the COVID situation, for something personal in your life, we have the impulse within us to rise above it. And let us hold that intention with that feeling of joy that we just aligned with today. So, um, the Council and Reverend Carol would like to thank you for all supporting the Unity of Lexington spiritual community. They are so grateful for your ongoing donations. And please note that the church website is down, and it is being worked on, some technical issue, but they're looking forward to creating a new one. So stay tuned. Meanwhile, the path to donation is the Shop Now button on the Facebook page. And of course, you can mail in your donations. The address is listed under the category About on the Facebook page. So everything you need is on this page. If you're tuning in for the first time, online services are a bit shorter with a slightly different flow than our in-person experience, and we are so blessed that you chose to join us today. So thank you for and we're grateful for the technology that allows us to connect no matter what's happening in the world, right? So also know that this service and all of Unity of Lexington services are posted on YouTube. However, it may be later today or at the first of the week. So just check back in if you want to review it, or if you didn't get to see the whole service, or if you want to share it with somebody to be inspired. If you or anyone you know is challenged with grief as we move into the holiday season, I just want to let you know that I'll be offering, with my retreat partner, Terry Wilder, who just sang us into the service, a virtual retreat on November 21st at 12 noon Eastern Time. And you can go to my site to register and all the details, unityawakeningways.org/retreats. So let us shift our energy into holding with that vibration of joy the intention of prayer for health and wholeness and transformation for the requests on our prayer list today. We hold the intention for peace and harmony in our community, nation, and world, and our leaders, for strength and comfort for all those affected by the wildfires and hurricanes and weather-related challenges, for all the veterans that have served our country to protect and to give without concern, just to bless us. And we know that as Veterans Day is celebrated tomorrow, we just want to hold the intention for all those that have served, whether they're in the service now or they've retired. They have made a difference to this country. We hold the intention for Nicole and Leslie and all the first responders, frontline and essential workers who have never wavered in their commitment to serve our health and wholeness as they continue in this process, not knowing when it will end, but just being in the moment to support us. all those who are ill or for those that have transitioned as a result of having the coronavirus, and especially for their grieving families and friends, we enfold you in love. We hold the intention of healing for Diane, Ginger, Donna, Bill, Tanya, residents of the Sayre Christian Village, including Connie, for Greg, Buzz, Patty, Patrick, Sharon, Pat C., Katie, for the dog Spirit, and especially for Reverend Carol. If you'd like prayer support, please email Reverend Carol at reverendcarolunity@gmail.com, and that's REVCAROLE Unity, UNITY, @gmail.com. Or you can private message her on Messenger. Unity of Lexington follows the Silent Unity Prayer Ministry format and shares only first names to honor confidentiality, knowing they are known in spirit. And we honor and support all of you in prayer, knowing a shared intention is very powerful indeed. So, with that, let us take a moment to begin with an opening prayer. Taking in a deep breath, we breathe in the awareness of the divine that is active in and through and as us with every breath we take, reminding us we are divine by nature. And we hold the intention there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in this universe: God, goodness, omnipotence. And we are one with that presence and power, knowing that when we align with who we truly are, we move forward in creative expression and we make a difference in the world and everything around us. And for that, we know we are blessed. And so it is. Amen. I want to share with you a sacred reading from a daily word. I happened to find an older one that actually had the intention for zeal, which was very appropriate this morning. And so I just want you to, as we begin this prayer and meditation time together, to just take in a deep breath and breathe in the sacredness of these words as they begin to align with you and prepare you to go deeper within. The affirmation for zeal is: I begin every day with zeal and enthusiasm. Can you just feel that stirring within you already? I begin every day with zeal and enthusiasm, taking time each day to give thanks for blessings received and those coming my way is energizing. It is amazing what simply expressing gratitude for being alive can do. I feel such excitement for the possibilities waiting to be fulfilled. This is the very definition of zeal. The divine presence within energizes and excites every cell of my being. My eyes are open to all the wonderful opportunities that exist around me. Zeal keeps me feeling joyful, no matter what appearances seem to be sane. My enthusiasm is infectious to those around me. When others notice how passionate I feel, they are inspired to follow my example, and I am thrilled to be a force for positive change. My zeal for life increases as I use it to touch the lives of others. And that is affirmed in Romans 12:11 when it is said, "Do not lag in zeal, be ardent in spirit, serve the Lord," which we know means the ultimate authority, our source within we, that we go within and allow that source to guide us, to inspire us, and then we feel the inspiration. And again, affirm, I begin every day with zeal and enthusiasm. And we do, right? When we align with spirit. And so as we prepare for meditation, I want to lead you with a song this morning. I chose Stand by Karen Drucker. It seemed appropriate for the energy of the world and our country today. So if you know it, join me. Bake along with it. Nobody knows you're singing, so this is a perfect time. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace, let there be love. I am a stand for love, let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world. Now let's do it one more time. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. I am making a new world now. And so we take in a deep breath, feeling that breath activating and animating us, going deep in and connecting with every cell of our being, allowing that breath to relax our body, to still your mind as we stand in the awareness of peace. Peace that is the calm center of our true nature. And so we breathe in the awareness of peace into this moment. Allow it to shift from your thoughts in your head down into your heart space. Continuing to focus on your breath as you expand your breathing, relaxing even deeper. As we go deeper and deeper into our heart space, breathing in peace and harmony, the stillness of that essence of our divine nature, the gentle vibration that is alive within us. And as we do, we feel that we are standing also in love. We are enfolded in the infinite power of love within us. That is the expression of our true nature, of compassion and harmony. And with our next breath, we breathe in even deeper. We vibrate with that essence of joy, that tingling of inspiration that comes when we connect with spirit, with the Christ nature, with the Buddha nature, with our divine nature. When we connect with the essence of who we truly are, that is always vibrating with a creative essence to move forward in positive, intentional ways. And so surrendering even deeper yet. With your next breath, know you are releasing anything and everything that is not one with the essence of peace, love, and joy, of zeal and enthusiasm, of open receptivity to the wisdom from within. And so in the silence of our being, we allow ourselves to be open, receptive, to align with the vibration of life that is our power of zeal, and to allow it to renew, restore, rejuvenate, and remind us of at the core the beauty of who we are in the silence. Taking in a deep breath, we feel that breath moving through us, refreshing us, activating and animating us, reminding us of that pulse within us that is the power of zeal. And we come back into this awareness with a realization of truth, of a remembering, a reminder of who we truly are at the core of our divine self. And we reconnect with the physical reality, knowing that as we do, we are reminded that our humanity is guided by our divinity. And that is the inspiration that we choose in each moment moving forward. And in gratitude, we simply say, Amen. So this morning, I wanted to start with a story that goes back into my history of something that reminds me and inspires me of my son Justin when he was about 9 months old, not years old. He was about 9 months old, and for those of you that have been parents and as children grow and evolve, you remember those states when they were into everything. Well, he was walking at 9 months, so he was really literally into everything. A very determined little man. And I could see it in his eyes. He would hone in on something and nothing was going to stop him until he achieved it. He was so determined. And the delight and the joy in his face made everyone else smile too. Even when he got into something he shouldn't, you couldn't help yourself. One day he decided that he was going to check out the fish in the bowl on our kitchen counter. I was doing laundry at the end of the hallway, thinking that I was close enough to hear anything that I needed to know about. Well, he was a little sneaky and he pushed a bench up to the end of the counter, climbed up on it so that he could get up onto the counter, and by the time I determined it had been much too quiet for too long, I walked into the kitchen to find him sitting on the counter pouring a packet of instant oatmeal in one hand that he had found in a cabinet right above him. And as he was pouring it in, his hand was in there stirring it up, trying to catch the fish. He was smiling and laughing in obvious delight at his achievement, and I was stunned. First of all, how in the heck did he ever manage to do that? But he was so enthusiastic, his whole body said, I couldn't help myself. I just had to do it. And if he could have talked, and he did try to say fishes, I am sure he would have claimed his action was spirit-led. The poor little fish was in shock, but it did recover after getting clean water and proper food. But this is the power of zeal in action. Zeal is the power tool that we will be exploring from our spiritual toolbox of life today as we continue in the series of the 12 Powers of Life based on Charles Fillmore, co-founder of the Unity Movement, his fundamental teachings from his book, The 12 Powers of Man, where he defines 12 power centers within us that, when developed, demonstrate our true nature, our Christ consciousness, our ultimate goal in awakening. And so taking time to understand each one, how to activate it and align it with the others, is a really important part of our own spiritual growth and development. Charles Fillmore defined zeal as the great universal impulse that lies back of all action, the impulse to go forward, the urge behind all things. He further said that man without zeal is like an engine without steam, or an electric motor without a current. Energy is zeal in motion, and energy is the forerunner for every effect. It is powerful and necessary. In other words, we need the impulse to generate action, and that comes from the power of zeal within us. Zeal is also referred to as enthusiasm, which, interesting, comes from a Greek word, entheos, meaning inspired by God or in God. So when we express zeal and enthusiasm, we are expressing our Godness, our true God nature. Zeal is also referred to as audacity, a willingness to take bold risks or fearlessness, to be courageous. Perhaps you've tapped into that, to be that outside of the box expression. But it's also referred to as devotion, not from the devotion of prayer or contemplation, but more from a steadfastness or an enthusiasm for a cause or a person or an activity of life, a loyalty to a purpose where we are energized, as we've been seeing throughout our country, right? Those that are impassioned for a purpose. That is our zeal activated. Metaphysically, zeal is our spiritual appetite. Zeal is spirit ever urging us onward to greater awareness of our Christ self. So it has to come from within us. Remember, when we're talking about metaphysically, when we're talking about universal spirituality, we're always talking about consciousness and something that we do the work from within so that it can be demonstrated in more empowering ways without. So zeal results in our experiencing both joy and enthusiasm, arising up from within us. I think that sounds pretty good, don't you? And maybe somehow we have forgotten and lost that connection with our impulse. But it's always there as a part of our power from our toolbox within to reactivate and direct in powerful ways. Charles Fillmore, so many of you that have been within Unity may remember this particular quote that he shared when he was 94 years old. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. Can we align with that, to be that, to do that, no matter what our age, no matter what our circumstances? It's the source within us that gives us the zest for life. I love that word, zest. It's our motivation, it's excitement and energy in approaching the activities in life. It reminds me of our beloved Star Wars series of movies. Remember when they would say, the force be within you? Almost like a blessing, sending each other off into an adventure knowing they were protected and guided in whatever challenge they faced. And know that they had the power within to keep them going, to stay focused on their goal. They faced the darkness of Darth Vader and they overcame it. The light always prevailed. And all the characters learned that they had the force within them to meet every challenge, to bring truth into reality, and thus creating harmony and peace in their world. We are offered the same thing. Just like Luke Skywalker and all the other characters, we all have a path to follow, a journey that leads us on our truth, into the awareness of our source. Something has to motivate us forward, to urge us on when we're afraid or we're tired or we're feeling hopeless. It's the power of zeal, our inner spirit within, breathing us on, breathing that inspiration into us. Have you consciously tapped into that source? Do you remember what it feels like to be so inspired nothing will hold you back? As a faculty of divine mind, zeal, like the other mind powers, has a disciple of Jesus associated with it. And the disciple, you may recall, is Simon, known as Simon the Zealot. He represents the power of zeal. So in Jesus' day, the Zealots were a political group organized to crush out all persons not in complete sympathy with what they considered the ideals of Israel. We may have seen some zealots let loose in our country lately. The zealots were rough men, living a hard life, fighting continually, resisting and resenting, but experiencing a sense of being filled with the flame of devotion to an ideal, the ideal of a free nation for the Jewish people. So their intention may have been for good, but how they went about it may have been disconnected. So as a zealot, Simon undoubtedly was filled with ardor, a great warmth of emotion for the cause that he had chosen, but his efforts were devoted to forcing results in the material world. That is not in alignment with our divine nature. So everyone needs something to feel strong about, right? Everyone needs certain goals and aims to fight the inner fire, so to speak. But we must learn to relate our goals first to the development of our inner powers and abilities under spiritual guidance, under spiritual direction. Then we have zeal working for us in a way that will fill us with spiritual energy, that divine energy activated to carry out our highest purposes. So Simon changed his way of life and he became zealous for truth, for the truth teachings when he made the decision to follow Jesus, when he made that conscious intention to shift his thinking and align with his own divine nature, to use that same zealous inspiration, but for good. And he was given all the energy he needed to fulfill his part of the divine plan in working with the other disciples. See, all of them represented a part of our true nature, which we must work together in teamwork, not any one being more powerful or expressing in greater ways than the others. So zeal pours itself out as spiritual energy to follow through on the work of developing the whole being, of awakening consciousness. Simon the Zealot learned to shift his force and his fighting nature in order to cooperate with the other disciples under Jesus' direction, under universal teaching, guidance. So the faculty of enthusiasm or zeal must spark and work with the other powers to be fully realized. The name Simon literally means one who hears and obeys. So Simon or Zeal, as they are in one in this understanding, work best when one hears the instruction of the Christ, that power from within, as relayed through the wisdom center. See, we can't just go running out and express ourselves without some kind of foundational guidance. And then with that wisdom, we obey that direction and use our inspiration for good. So otherwise, even one's enthusiasm for truth ideas may carry one away into outer activity without boundaries or proper guidance that may be misguided or without sound direction. And we have seen that where it kind of gets chaotic and crazy and perhaps destructive. So, in speaking of the development of this attribute, Charles Fillmore warns, do not let your zeal run away with your personal judgment. That is judgment without inner discernment. For when the powers of zeal and judgment, which is another word for the power of wisdom, work together, great things can be accomplished. So zeal then must be directed by that inner wisdom, by that discernment of judgment from within. Because working without guidance, it is a fire that is uncontrolled. It is feeding on itself, which is like the ego trying to take charge and running the show. As referred to in Psalm 69:9, when it said, the zeal of thy house hath eaten me up. It consumes our attention so that we are misguided in how we are moving forward in our focus and intention. So, under the leadership of wisdom, but tempered by the power of love, so we bring compassion into that focused intention. It becomes a tremendous spiritual energy that carries the individual forward. It carries us forward to greater and greater achievement, more abundant and positive results realized. And so you see, remember that love and wisdom were a power pair together. And zeal is powered with the power of power that Reverend Michael talked about last week. So power needs the impulse to bring it forth. But see how all these power tools need to be aligned together for the most positive outcome. We've all experienced someone who is perhaps hot-headed or what we call overzealous to the point of obsession without healthy guidance or completely hyperactive and out of control, not giving names to anything, but I'm pretty sure we've had some examples in our reality recently. Maybe you know somebody, or maybe perhaps even you've expressed those traits yourself. That misuse of energy, we all have a tendency to do that when we're not paying attention, when we're not living in a state of awareness and noticing when something's out of balance. So zeal out of control with overbalanced tendencies would would be that overzealous obsession, out of control expression. Or perhaps we might experience boredom, or feeling lazy, or a lack of vitality. I know I felt that on occasion, which would be an underbalanced expression of zeal. So, either way, it shows a need for change, for balance, for transformation. It shows a need to turn within for renewal, for rethinking, for refocusing, or redirection. An unknown source once said, no one keeps up his enthusiasm automatically. It's not like we just, connect with it, know it, and then we don't have to nurture it. This source said enthusiasm must be nourished with new actions, new aspirations, new efforts, new vision. Compete with yourself. Set your teeth and dive into the job of breaking your own record, which is expanding the boundaries of your consciousness, of your reality, of how you're living. It is one's own fault if his enthusiasm is gone. He has failed to feed it. So we must be nurturing our enthusiasm, but tempered with wisdom and love, so that it is coming from a solid foundation of truth. It's interesting that the power center of zeal in our body stems from the medulla oblongata. I love saying that. Medulla oblongata is at the base of the brain at the back of the neck. So, what do you suppose a stiff neck might mean? A resistance to truth, a resistance to redirection or inner guidance? What do you actually Catherine Pounder, a unity minister and considered a prosperity guru, because zeal actually aligns with prosperity because it can lead us to our good. And she wrote in her book, The Healing Secrets of the Ages, the mind power of zeal at the base of the brain imparts special energy to the ears, eyes, nose, mouth, and sensory nervous system. It connects with everything that we experience. And so when you misuse your zeal, either by trying to force your will and your way on someone else or something, or by burning up this wonderful energy in unwise activities, you get a physical reaction through one of those five senses. They become literally starved and react upon you with physical ailments. Our vision, our hearing, our taste, our feeling, our thinking, everything can be affected when zeal is out of balance. So when I realized that's what's missing whenever I feel any of those things, it was a relief to have this awareness that I have the power to redirect, to transform, to change, to shift. I knew what was missing, what the key was to experiencing life with true joy, to align with that impulse that will help me stay focused and committed to something that makes a difference in how I'm showing up. So, have you ever caught yourself in a moment of awareness when you realized what was wrong and what could make a difference in the world? That's a moment of empowerment. When I've allowed myself to move forward, guided by spirit, motivated by spirit, I feel lighter, I feel freer, more at peace, that everything's right in the world because I can sense that I'm aligning with what is going to manifest something positive. I feel joy and enthusiasm for life and my purpose of what I'm connecting with. So when I know I'm moving in the right direction, I can feel centered and calm and in harmony. and open and receptive to what new messages come in and how to adjust. Can you think of those moments? A time when you really felt connected, really felt an urge to do something, that you must do that thing, nothing was going to stop you, just like my little 9-month-old baby boy Justin did when he couldn't help himself but climb on that kenner and go after that fish and try to feed him oatmeal. And do you then? Do you stay focused and follow through? It makes a difference when we do. Just like voting made a difference for us to exercise our voice. See what motivation can do. It's the power of zeal in action. So, in closing, I want to remind you of a quote that Alan Cohen said from a book of his on Joy is My Compass. And he said, "The God I know loves a joyful, open heart, and she has a sense of humor. Remember, angels can fly because they take themselves lightly." So I think that the power of zeal is inviting us to be more outrageous, to blow a few minds now and then, you know, which can be a very healthy thing to do. Um, to remember that I think it's Saint Ignatius that said, "The glory of God is humankind fully alive." So there's no greater disservice to not, to follow limitation, to follow outer guidance without discerning its purpose. And there's no greater blessing that we can bring upon everyone that we connect with when we demonstrate the freedom to choose to be who we are and to do it joyfully. So remember that zeal does not support restriction or bullying or destructive enthusiasm of life. Your power of zeal will harmonize you with the universe. It puts you into the rhythm of life. It lifts up your consciousness with the awareness of your inner Christ, your divine self, your true self, the godness that you are, the one that we were meant to follow. So let us claim our power of zeal with this powerful affirmation now. I invite you to say it to yourself, and if you choose to repeat it out loud, it is simply this: I enthusiastically accept my good. Let's say that together. I enthusiastically accept my good and go forward to achieve my purpose. And go forward to achieve my purpose. And may the force be with you as you do. So, in closing our service today, I'm going to invite you to join with me in our prayer for protection with our affirmations of truth. And I'm going to also end with another song. So if you want to stay on and be inspired with that, I recall a song that I really love. It's called "We Are the Ones" by Devotion. And I think that it comes from that inspiration of zeal when we choose to recognize that we are the ones that we've been waiting for, and that we allow that inspiration to move us forward in empowering ways. So together, let us affirm: the light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and I am. We are one, and so it is. Enjoy this. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. You might want to get up and dance for this one.
We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for, yeah. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the mothers who breathe with the Mother Earth. We are the fathers blessed with a gentle strength. Sisters and brothers respected hand in in hand. The sons and the daughters who walk upon this sacred land. And we are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for, yeah. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. Oh, we are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the healers who hear a voice so true. We are the elders whose wisdom guides our youth. The searchers and seekers with wings spread to the sun. Shapers and builders whose work for peace is never done. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. Yeah. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. Oh, we are the ones that we've been waiting for. We're givers of mercy, believers in grace, singers of great beauty, keepers of faith. We are the sailors who come back through the storm. We are the dreamers resting in God's arms. The dancers and lovers who move beneath the stars. Masters and teachers whose visions remind us who we are. And we are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for, yeah. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. Oh, we are the ones that we've been waiting for.
Bless you and have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you next Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Namaste.